Welcome, everyone. Glad you are all here. A fire's never the same without good company. I wanted to share something important with you. If you have ever lain in bed for hours, staring at the ceiling, knowing you need to sleep, but your mind refuses to shut down. If you have ever woken up after 8 hours in bed, feeling like you barely rested at all. If you have ever relied on 3 alarms and still felt like a zombie for half the morning, then this video is not just for you. It is meant for you. You are about to learn the exact architecture your brain builds every night and how to construct perfect rest using the same principles that elite athletes, military operators, and neuroscientists use to recover faster, think sharper, and perform at their peak. This is not another list of bedtime tips. This is a deep, scientifically proven system based on how your brain actually works during sleep. And here is the best part. This training also supports your English because you will hear clear language with precise scientific terms explained through simple images. So you grow your understanding and your language skill at the same time. So, stay with me until the end, because once you understand how to build sleep correctly, you will never waste another night again. Let me start with a brutal truth. Most people think sleep is like flipping a switch. You lie down, you turn off, you wake up, but your brain does not work that way. Sleep is not one thing. It is a carefully constructed building with multiple floors, each floor serving a different purpose. And if you skip even one floor or build it poorly, the entire structure becomes unstable. Right now, as you sit here, your brain is accumulating a chemical called adenosine. Imagine adenosine like dust settling on a table. The longer you stay awake, the thicker the dust becomes. After 16 hours of being awake, that dust is so thick it creates pressure, a biological need to sleep. This is your homeostatic sleep drive, the force that makes your eyelids heavy and your focus collapse. But here is what most people never realize. Adenosine is only half the story. Your brain also runs on a circadian rhythm, a 24-hour internal clock, controlled by a tiny cluster of cells in your hypothalamus called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Think of this clock like a lighthouse. It sends signals to your entire body, telling every organ when to be awake and when to prepare for rest. The lighthouse responds to light, specifically blue light from the sun, which is why when you stare at your phone screen at midnight, you are essentially shining a flashlight directly at the lighthouse and confusing the signal. When adenosine pressure and circadian timing align, your brain opens the gate to sleep. But if they are out of sync, you get that horrible feeling of being exhausted, but unable to fall asleep. Now let me show you what happens once you actually fall asleep. Your brain does not just shut down. It begins construction. Sleep architecture is the term scientists use to describe the blueprint your brain follows every night. This blueprint has 5 stages, and your brain cycles through them 4 to 6 times per night, each cycle lasting roughly 90 minutes. Let's say you lie down at 10 at night. You close your eyes. Within the first few minutes, you enter stage 1, also called none. This is the lightest stage of sleep, like standing at the top of a staircase, 1 foot on the first step. Your muscles start to relax. Your heart rate slows slightly, but a small noise can pull you right back to wakefulness. You spend only 5 to 10 minutes here. Then you descend to stage 2, N2. This is where your brain starts disconnecting from the outside world. Your body temperature drops slightly, your heart rate becomes more regular, and something fascinating happens. Your brain produces sleep spindles, rapid bursts of electrical activity that scientists believe help lock in memories from the day. If you studied vocabulary or practiced a new skill earlier, stage 2 is where your brain starts cementing that information. You will spend about 20 minutes in N2 during your first cycle. Then you drop deeper into stage 3, also known as slow wave sleep or N3. This is the foundation of the building, the most critical floor. In N3, your brain waves slow down dramatically, like ocean waves rolling in slow motion. This is when your body releases growth hormone, repairs damaged tissue, strengthens your immune system, and clears out metabolic waste that accumulated during the day. Imagine your brain has a cleaning crew that only works the night shift. And stage 3 is when they come out with mops and brooms to scrub everything clean. You spend roughly 30 to 40 minutes here in your first cycle. I saw the life after N3. Something strange happens. Instead of continuing deeper, your brain reverses direction and climbs back up, but it does not return to wakefulness. It enters a completely different type of sleep, REM, which stands for rapid eye movement. In REM sleep, your brain becomes almost as active as when you are awake. Your eyes dart back and forth under your eyelids, your breathing becomes irregular, and your muscles are completely paralyzed to prevent you from acting out your dreams. REM is where your brain processes emotions, solves problems creatively, and integrates complex information. If you learn something difficult during the day, REM is where your brain takes it apart, finds patterns, and builds new connections. Your first REM period is short, maybe 10 minutes, but as the night goes on, each cycle gives you less than 3 and more REM. So by the final cycle before you wake up, you might spend 30 or 40 minutes in REM. That is why if you cut your sleep short by even 1 hour, you lose most of your REM, and that is why you wake up feeling mentally foggy. Here's a brutal truth that no one talks about. You can lie in bed for 8 hours and still wake up exhausted because sleep quality matters more than sleep quantity. Let me explain why this happens. Your brain is supposed to move smoothly through all 5 stages in order, building a complete structure every 90 minutes. But if something disrupts that process, the entire building collapses. Let's say you drink alcohol before bed. Alcohol might make you feel drowsy, and you might fall asleep faster, but it destroys your sleep architecture. It suppresses REM sleep almost entirely in the first half of the night, and it fragments your cycles. So instead of moving smoothly from none to N2 to N3 to N3 to REM, you bounce around chaotically, spending too much time in light sleep and almost no time in deep restoration. You wake up after 8 hours feeling like you only slept 4. The same thing happens if your room is too warm. Your core body temperature needs to drop by about 1 degree Celsius to enter deep sleep. If your bedroom is above 20 degrees Celsius, your body cannot cool down properly. So you get stuck in lighter stages, tossing and turning all night. Or imagine this, you go to bed at a different time every night. One night at 10, the next night at midnight, the next at 11:30. Your circadian rhythm, that internal lighthouse, gets completely confused. It does not know when to release melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep, or when to raise cortisol, the hormone that signals wakefulness. So, even though you are in bed for 8 hours, your brain never builds deep, restorative cycles because the timing is wrong. This is why shift workers, people who work nights or rotating schedules, have higher rates of heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. Their sleep architecture is constantly broken. Now imagine this. You understand the blueprint. You know your brain needs to move through none, N2, N3, and REM in smooth cycles. You know adenosine needs to build up, and your circadian rhythm needs to be aligned. So what do? You start building perfect sleep. Step by step, using the same techniques that neuroscientists and elite performers use. Step 1 is called anchoring your rhythm. Your circadian clock is controlled by light. So the most powerful thing you can do is expose your eyes to bright natural light within 30 minutes of waking up. Walk outside even for 5 minutes. Let sunlight hit your retinas. This sends a direct signal to your suprachiasmatic nucleus, telling it, this is morning, start the clock. That signal triggers a cascade. Your body stops producing melatonin. It raises cortisol to make you alert. And exactly 14 to 16 hours later, it will start producing melatonin again to make you sleepy. If you do this every single day at the same time, your rhythm locks in like a train schedule. You will start feeling sleepy at the same time every night without effort. Step 2 is managing adenosine correctly. Remember, adenosine is that dust that accumulates during wakefulness. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors in your brain, which is why it makes you feel awake. But here is the trick. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours, which means if you drink coffee at 4 in the afternoon Half of that caffeine is still in your system at 10 at night, still blocking adenosine, still preventing your brain from feeling sleepy. So the rule is simple. No caffeine after 2 in the afternoon. If you follow this rule for 1 week, you will notice you fall asleep faster and sleep deeper. Step 3 is temperature manipulation. Your core body temperature needs to drop to enter deep sleep. So you can hack this process. Take a hot shower or bath 90 minutes before bed. When you step out, your body rapidly cools down, and that cooling signals your brain to start the descent into sleep. Combine this with a cool bedroom, ideally 16 to 19 degrees Celsius, and your body will drop into N3 much faster. Let me tell you something no one talks about. Even if you do everything right, your brain still needs one final signal to begin construction, and that signal is called sleep pressure release. Here is what I mean. Let's say you followed all the steps. You got morning sunlight, you avoided caffeine, you cooled your bedroom, but you still lie in bed awake. Why? Because your brain associates your bed with wakefulness. Maybe you spend hours scrolling on your phone in bed, or watching videos or working on your laptop. Your brain has learned that bed equals alertness, not sleep. I might sleep. So now you need to retrain it. This technique is called stimulus control, and it is one of the most powerful tools in sleep science. The rule is brutally simple. Your bed is only for sleep. If you are not asleep within 20 minutes, get out of bed. Go to another room, sit in dim light, read something boring, and only return to bed when you feel genuinely sleepy. This might sound extreme, but it works because you are retraining your brain's association. After 1 to 2 weeks of this practice, your brain will recognize bed as the place where sleep happens, and you will fall asleep faster than you ever thought possible. Step 4 is controlling light exposure in the evening. Remember, blue light confuses your circadian lighthouse. 2 hours before bed, dim the lights in your home. If you must use screens, wear blue light blocking glasses, or switch your devices to night mode. Even better, replace screens with a book or a conversation. The goal is to let your brain gradually shift from alertness to relaxation. Step 5 is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. This is a tool developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, and it works by activating your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for rest and relaxation. Here is how you do it. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat this 4 times. The extended exhale signals your body to shift out of fight or flight mode and into rest mode. If you do this lying in bed, you will feel your heart rate slow, your muscles relax, and your mind quiet. This technique alone can cut your time to fall asleep in half. Here is a secret that memory champions and high performers use. Your sleep architecture does not just restore your body, it actively enhances your skills. Let's say you are learning a new language, practicing a musical instrument, or training a physical movement. During the day when you practice, your brain creates weak, unstable connections between neurons. These connections are fragile, like pencil marks on paper. But when you sleep, specifically during N2 and REM, your brain replays those same patterns over and over, strengthening the connections, turning pencil into permanent ink. Scientists call this memory consolidation, and it happens automatically, but only if you give your brain the right conditions. If you study something difficult and then sleep well that night, you will wake up better at it than you were the day before, even though you did not practice while you were asleep. This is not magic. This is your brain using sleep architecture to rewire itself. But if you skip sleep or disrupt your cycles, that consolidation never happens, and the skill fades. This is why students who cram all night before an exam perform worse than students who study and then sleep. The sleep is where the learning actually locks in. Now let me show you how to optimize sleep for specific goals. If you want maximum physical recovery, prioritize the first half of the night, because that is when you get the most N3, slow wave sleep. Go to bed earlier, even if you wake up at the same time, because those early cycles are where growth hormone peaks and tissue repair happens. If you want maximum creative problem solving and emotional regulation, prioritize the second half of the night, because that is when M dominates. If you have a big presentation or a difficult conversation coming up, make sure you get a full night of sleep so your brain has time to process emotions and rehearse scenarios during REM. If you need to learn something complex, study it in the evening, then go to bed. Your brain will work on it overnight. This is called sleep-dependent learning, and it is one of the most underused tools in education. Athletes use this all the time. They practice a movement, sleep, and wake up with better motor control. You can do the same with languages, music, or any skill that requires precision. Here is one of the most powerful techniques in history, and almost no one uses it. It is called the wake back to bed method, and it allows you to extend your REM sleep intentionally. Here is how it works. Set an alarm for 6 hours after you fall asleep. When the alarm goes off, get out of bed. Stay awake for 20 to 30 minutes. What happens is this. When you wake up after 6 hours, you have already completed most of your deep N3 sleep. So your brain is primed for it. When you go back to sleep, you drop almost immediately into an extended REM period, sometimes lasting over an hour. People use this technique to have lucid dreams, to solve creative problems, or simply to feel more mentally sharp when they wake up. It sounds strange, but neuroscientists have proven it works because you are hacking your natural sleep cycles. Let me tell you something no one talks about. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the foundation of everything else you do. If you do not sleep well, your memory fails, your immune system weakens, your mood destabilizes, and your ability to learn new things collapses. But if you build sleep correctly, if you treat it like architecture, carefully constructing each floor, each cycle, each stage, you become sharper, stronger, more resilient. You wake up ready. Your brain clears out waste, repairs damage, consolidates memory, and prepares for the next day. This is not about sleeping more. It is about sleeping smarter. Right now, pause this video and try this. Tonight, before bed, take a hot shower. Cool your bedroom to 18 degrees. Do 4 rounds of 4-7-8 breathing. And go to bed at the exact same time you did last night. Tomorrow morning, get outside within 30 minutes of waking and expose your eyes to sunlight for 5 minutes. Do this for 1 week. Track how you feel. You will notice the difference. Let's review what we learned. Step 1. Anchor your circadian rhythm by getting bright light in the morning and dimming lights at night. Step 2. Manage adenosine by cutting caffeine after 2 in the afternoon. Step 3. Manipulate temperature by taking a hot shower before bed and keeping your room cool. Step 4. Retrain your brain by using your bed only for sleep. Step 5. Activate relaxation with 4-7-8 breathing. Step 6. Optimize for your goals by prioritizing early sleep for physical recovery or late sleep for creativity. If you apply these steps daily, you will fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling like your brain was rebuilt overnight. But more than that, you will become someone who understands how your own biology works. Someone who does not fight against their body, but works with it. Remember, this video was not just about sleep. It was also about improving your English through clear explanations and scientific terms. Every sentence helped you grow. If this helped you, subscribe right now. We do not just teach science. We help you become the architect of your own mind. Your brain is ready. Let's build.